We've been living under a collective illusion much of the time. We have been conditioned to falsely believe that our heads are more effective and more efficient than being in our bodies. We've been told our rational mind is more important than our inner wisdom. We have been told to strive, push, produce. We've been told to stifle feelings and push past pain. We've been told to stop being so sensitive. I want to take you back to October of 2009. It was a really, really intense time of my career. I was in charge of this big project. It was really visible. It felt very high stakes to me at the time. I was doing a lot of keynote speaking, a lot of deliverables and deadlines and people depending on me. And I had this respiratory cold I couldn't shake for the month or for several weeks before. My son had just started a new school. And I didn't feel like I had any choice but to keep pushing. I remember driving home from work, and my mind would be everywhere. I would be dissecting what I had just said at that important meeting. I'd be worried about what the heck I was going to say at the next keynote. I'd be really, really concerned about what I was going to wear. And I wondered how my son was doing. Morning, noon, and night, my mind was spinning, analyzing, strategizing, and mostly worrying. On October 28th, 2009, so just a few weeks later, I did a keynote in front of 1,100 people right before Steve Ballmer came on the stage. Kind of rocked it. And then I went home and I crashed. I woke up the next morning, took a drink of water, and it dribbled down my face. I went to wipe it away, and I couldn't feel my fingers on my face. I went to the doctor right away, and she said I had Bell's palsy. I hadn't even heard of what Bell's palsy was, but she told me it was a virus that paralyzes one side of your face. Paralyzes one side of my face. And then she says, well, in good cases, it might be temporary and last 3 to 4 months. And in not so good cases, the paralysis is permanent. I was terrified. I couldn't eat or drink without it falling out of my mouth. I couldn't talk without sounding kind of drunk. And I couldn't close my eye. So every night, my ritual was put some ointment in my eye, put a couple layers of gauze, and then put a pirate patch on my eye. Not exactly my version of sexy nightwear, but I did it so I didn't lose my eyesight. I became really devoted to my healing. I was sick. The virus is related to mono, so that's kind of what it felt like I had. So walking up the stairs some days felt like an accomplishment. And on my really good days, I would have rested enough in time for my sons to come home so I could spend a few hours with them before I needed to go back to sleep after dinner. I needed to heal. So where did I go? I went to my group of women. I saw my acupuncturist twice a week for 8 weeks. I saw my craniosacral therapist once a week, and my naturopath And we created an amazing healing, holistic protocol that I loved following. About 3 months later, I started smiling and talking again, and much to my husband's delight, I ditched the eye patch. Thank God. As I look back on it now, I realize how much I was operating in my head, cut off from my wisdom, my strength, my power. I was operating under the illusion that pushing, striving, producing was more important. I actually thought that ignoring my body was more effective than listening to it. And it turned out I was really, really wrong. Part of how we wake up from this collective illusion is by being present. Staying present in the moment, tuning in, listening. If we consciously stop doing. This is a theme I'm sensing. Stop doing. And in our moments, just be. Just sit still. So I'm going to take you through an exercise and give you a tool that will help you gain your clarity, get out of your head, and listen. So I invite you to put both feet on the ground. Maybe put things down that might be on your lap. And if you're comfortable, close your eyes, and if not, just turn your gaze down to the ground. The only thing I'm asking you to do here is to notice. Just simply notice. Go ahead and take a nice, easy, full breath. And simply notice. Notice your body. Any tension, pain, openness. Take another breath. Notice your mind. Might have a lot to say, that's okay. Just notice. This is you paying attention. This is you noticing. And I'd like to invite you to think about a situation that you're having difficulty with right now in your life. And ask yourself, what is my inner knowing, my gut, my body have to say about this situation? Just notice. When you're ready, open your eyes. Now, if you had to distill your experience down to one word, what might that be? Might sound like stop, go, trust, or receive. I want you to think about that word, find a neighbor, and share your words with each other. Just your one word. Go ahead. Apparently that was the first time you met your neighbor. One hell of a way to meet your neighbor. All right, let's hear from you. I'd love to hear a couple of words. Words. Expansion. Patience. Okay. Relief. Excellent. Release. That could be a relief. Now, the most normal question to come up right after we tune in and become present and listen is, what do I do? What do I do now? The truth is, there's nothing for you to do right now. You're here. You're in this present moment. Our job always is to remain listening, to become still and listen. Believe it or not, I know your minds, maybe some of you right now, think that this is a very unsatisfying answer to the what do I do question. And in my experience in working with thousands of clients and my own experience of going through this, you're not going to lose anything. And in fact, the more you tune in, the more you are truly present with what you're experiencing, you actually become far smarter and produce better results than your mind ever could do alone. My invitation to you is to continue to ask yourself, what am I experiencing right now? This is your path to clarity, freedom, and a well of deep, abiding wisdom. The truth is, your presence alone will guide you with unwavering accuracy. Your invitation is just to listen. And I think it's safe to say we've all felt, at some level, the loss of Maya Angelou, especially as she was supposed to speak at the event in New York. And in closing, I wanted to leave you with her last public words of wisdom before she passed. Listen to yourself, and in that quietude, you might hear the voice of God. Thank you.